ladies and gentlemen, and a very warm welcome to Ian's YouTube channel. Well, hello ladies and gentlemen, and once again a very warm welcome to Ian's YouTube channel with me, Ian Lawrence, here in the Magic Shed concerning this wonderful Kuksa. It don't know it's a Kuksa yet, but it is. Now I've noticed on this side it's with child. In other words, it looks a little bit pregnant. I've got all biscuits around my mouth, I've just been munching biscuits. Now I hope you enjoyed the last video when we were out at Woods and we got it to this stage. Now what I'm doing is I'm just starting to work on the inside rim of that, literally just working at it very, very slowly so I can get in there in order to be able to get it right. Now I need to get down deep into that end and that end, because that, as the grain comes along, I've gone with the grain. Okay, I don't know if you can see. Let me see if I can show you. Can you see? I don't know if you can see, but the grain's going that way. All right, did that on purpose because it'll look pretty. But because of that, I've got to cut into that end so it doesn't split open while I'm working on it. Alright, so I'm going to get on with that, but I'm also going to get rid of, because there's things you see when you sit down and concentrate on it indoors, and there's things that maybe, you know, you missed. So that pregnancy, if you look at that, you can see it's a little bit pregnant on that side, so I'm going to get rid of that, but that's where that knot is, and that's obviously what's happened. So I'm going to get my knife out and I'm going to clean that off. And also underneath, the bottom's not perfectly flat. So I'm going to mark that up there in my mind's eye, because I'm trying not to use pencils, and I'm going to try and get that nice and flat so it sits nice and flush. I'm also going to take some of this meat away here to thin that out a little bit. So there's still lots of work to do. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep coming in when I get a chance and picking it up and using it. Now, in order to be able to ensure this dries right, because in here, it's not damp, but it's not dry. I can put that there. I'll just show you what I'm going to use. I mean, a good thing to use is, do you know when your filings, when you're making things, if you can save them and dry them out, yeah, like this, and then get a paper. People generally use a paper bag. Look at me, it's covered me. And then all I do is I stick there. You can use a paper bag. In this case, I'm using an helmet bag, and I'm going to wrap it in there with those dry filings, and hopefully that's going to take away some of the moisture, but dry it nice and slowly. All right, and hang it up in here so eventually it starts drying to the point where I can take it into the actual house. I make a great mess in here. It's a good job it's just a shed. You know, sometimes I think people think it's my house, which is quite funny, but that's why it's called a Magic Shed. All right, so I'll pop that there. We can work on it, and I've got those there. And tonight, oh well, if I'm not, while I'm not doing this, I'll have those sort of drying, and I've got lots more. I've got loads more. Let's show you. See, I always save them, so when I'm doing anything like this, I can also use them as wood tinder to get the bodge the burner going. So I'll pile loads of these in here. And what you could do is stick them in an airing cupboard or something like that, and even a bit of straw, dry straw. Bang it all in there and mix it all up. So when you come to dry stuff like spoons and such like, you just pile it in there, and because that's so dry, hopefully it's going to absorb the moisture from your spoons or your Kuksa or whatever it is you're making your bowl, and dry it out steady. Because if it dries too fast, it's gonna crack. Now I really don't want that to happen, but if it does, it does. Learning process. See you in a bit. I'm gonna come back to you in a bit when I've just got inside there and I've chopped that, cleaned that up on the bottom, and I've got rid of its pregnancy. All right. See you in a minute. Okay, so I'm wanting to get into this edge here, and I don't have a vise. So what I do is I get my adze and I take the handle out. It's literally just drops in like that. Okay. So I take that out. And what I do is I get my mallet and I jam it in my feet, making sure I'm in a good safe position, and I put it there, and I will just literally tap it in. And I'll do that all the way round, right up to that edge. What it's doing is lifting that away. I'll take that all the way around, so it's going to give me a safe edge. So I don't take the edge off there. I'm trying to keep that. And once I've got fairly, far close in, from there, then it gives me like a bit of a safe zone, if that makes any sense. Now if I've got a worktop or work surface or something to use, this might be a bit easier. Yeah, a vice or such like. But if I were out in the woods or somewhere like, I wouldn't have one, would I? So I suppose this makes it a little bit more realistic, if that makes sense. So I keep doing that till I take it all the way around. Again, I'll reiterate, it's a video I saw of Z Outdoors, and I'll put the link on again underneath the video that I actually saw. You see I'm coming all the way around here, all that starts to fall off now, it's giving me an edge. And he did something a bit like this, but he had some different tools. Okay, and I'm it's doing roughly the same thing, but I'm just ad-libbing with what I've got. And that's what we have to do, isn't it, people? We have to make the best of what we've got. That's what else I want to show. This is the adze. This is the smaller adze. That's the one I was cutting round the edge with. You see this has got a smaller blade on. Did you only buy them in a set of 3? You've got like this one, that one and a flat one. And what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to get my toes out of the way. But I'm just going to start just tapping away in there. Obviously make sure these are sharp. Now I'm not going to go with the edge, because if I do that it's liable to peel that and break that edge. So all I'm going to do, get used to doing this and make sure you keep your hands again out of the way. And just go round and round and round, making sure I'm not touching that edge. Yeah. Just go that for a small period of time. Now as I go that further, start again. If I go further up. If I go that too far down, let me do it again then. I don't want to go over there because it'll cause it to peel. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn it side on and just tuck all those peelings out, look. So I can continue to see where I'm going. And it continues to be productive. Alright, it's over there again. I mean, if it splits, I'll be gutted. But I'll probably just get another one and just start again. It's like dealing with a large solid vegetable. A bit like me. A large solid vegetable. I'm a ginger trouble. Seems like every day I'm covered in bits of sawdust and bits of wood. Lulu's just brought me some hot chocolate in. Very nice. Sometimes I come out here and just sit without the fire on, because it helps regulate, get used to cold. Now on the bottom of here, because I'm having it's doing a little bit of this and that. So what I'm doing is, rather than using the knife, I've been using this axe all day, well most of the day when I've been making this, and I've got a little bit higher and a little bit high there. So rather than using the knife, I'm just clipping that off, and that's still nice and sharp after the full day out. So it's trimming it up at that end. If you keep your blades nice and sharp, they'll look after you. A little bit there, and I go up a bit there. So I'm taking tiny little feathers of this material off, like this. Yeah, and then I've got a bit back there because it's pivoting side to side. So I'm just watching it and trimming those extra little bits off. And hopefully, eventually, that'll sit level. Let's have a look at that. Put that up there. There's a little bit of wobble on, and I can see where it is. It's right in the middle. So all I'm going to do is just keep trimming away until it all lines up. You can see I'm totally safe, not putting myself in any danger. Just trimming that little bit up to make it sit nice and, well, as flat as I can anyway. See what it's like? There you go, nice and flat. Job's a good one. And when I come to use it, because I put that little bevel in there, it sits nice in my hand. It's actually feeling lighter already. I'm taking quite a bit of that wood off, so I can use it upside down whenever I want to. And I'm just going to keep working away inside there. Let's just put you down so you can hopefully see. I think you can see down there. I'll just keep working away inside there over a period of time. And as time goes by, I'll be wearing different clothes, and sometimes it'll be daytime. But I'm going to keep working at it till we get closer and closer till I can create this video. Right guys, I want to bring you in on this bit. You can see the way I've been doing this, as you've probably seen the clips, is I've been using the adze, which would normally work with the handle, as a chisel, a hand chisel. And I've been just popping down there. So I'm getting down to the lower levels now, which is a little bit worrying because I'm going to make sure I don't go through the bottom. So I'm trying to gauge it, and that's as far as I want to go, because I'm not, well for now anyway, till I get down to using the hook knife. So I'm having to be very, very careful now, because it's quite precarious, because at any point during this it could crack. Now up to now it's been a big lump of wood basically, but now you can hear that hollow sound, and that's telling me that's the resonance going through the wood. And so you can see that I basically get my fist inside there now. I thought they were going to be small, but I think that's a good size Kuksa, if I'm going to be honest. But like I say, I'm just learning this, and yeah, the handle could have been a bit longer, but I only shaped that obviously it works. But my hand fits into there nicely, and my fingers go underneath. On the video I was saying it's a thumb. Thumbs there, everybody, just had to point that out. So you can see I've got that hollow shape that it's round. It's a nice sort of round shape, I think. Very, very slightly pregnant there, but I can take that off later if I want to. But I don't want it perfect. I want it to look like, you know, a classic sort of Kuksa sort of idea, but a little bit quirky, if it makes sense. That knot there, I thought was going to be a nightmare, but it's not been that bad. You can see it in there. It's come away quite nice. I was worried about that because I thought it might sort of crack and snap away and crack up there. But this wood at the top there seems to have solidified it. It's reinforced it. Alright, okay, so I'm going to keep tapping away at that very, very carefully, because now it's tapering in. So I'm going to keep tapping at it, and then I've got to find some way of getting all the rest of the stuff out of there. Because it's going to be a nightmare just using that little hook knife. Because it is really little. It's only for doing spoons, and I don't have a bigger one. I was thinking to myself earlier, I wonder a lot of people, I wonder if they make these and use a drill. to actually drill all this out. Now I can prove I haven't used that because I've got all my shavings here, and to be honest, it's very therapeutic just to sit here while you've got time and do this, because I don't watch telly. Right, that's as far as I'm going with the ads, because I'm not willing to take it any further than that. I'm close to the bottom, so I need to find another tool or just work at it slowly with the hook knife. Alright guys, it's not split so far, like an eyeball with your nose, like a little animal. Sorry, I said it was an alien before, didn't I? So there you go. I knew this was going to be a slow process. This knife is not the sharpest in the world, because I've never been much good at getting these particular knives sharp. The other ones are, but these knives not being very good at getting sharp. So I've got to keep going at it, because you see guys on YouTube and they've got this nice big round hook knife and they just go and these big shivers, big slices of wood are coming out, and I'm like ack, and I suppose that it's a spoon knife, and that's a big spoon. But I'll keep going because I'm dogged and I'll get it sorted. Just keep going at it. Okay, so I've got to this point now. Alright, I've taken a lot of that out. I've started working into the edges, but I've got a very strong feeling that that is going to crack down there. It's where the two pieces of wood, you can see the grain going around there, but it gets to there, and there. That seems to be its weakest point, as if that bit there could just fall off. And I'm starting to see, and if you can see it, like a very slight little crack now. I'm going to try and save it, but if it cracks, it cracks, and it's going to crack down there. I might try and find some way of rescuing it, but we'll have to see. I'll just keep going at it. I mean, it is a learning process, like I said before. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, right, I've got to the point where it could technically be called a Kuksa, and it wants tidying up. But the problem I've got is it's going to take a good while. We're talking about 2 to 3 weeks to find out if that's going to crack. Alright, because it's, as it dries, the grain stays where it is and the wood contracts. So what happens is it tends to pull the wood apart, because the density of the grain in comparison, in conjunction with the wood, as the wood itself contracts, obviously there's less of it. But the grain inside there is sort of holding the shape of where the wood should have been. So as it contracts, it's pulling the wood apart, so away from where it's going to, and it cracks open. And the only place I can see really where I'm going to have a problem is just there. Now I can see something, but I can't say for definite that that is going to crack open, and I wouldn't like to think so. And I've looked online how I can stop it. There's all these wonderful stories about you do this with your microwave and that. Well, I've tried the microwave thing, and I actually found it to be a bit of a joke, because every time I put anything in, no matter what length of time or anything, it cracked. Every bit of wood I put in there cracked, and I was losing spoons. So even though it wants more work inside there, and it's going to want some more work on the outside, the overall shape of the Kuksa is there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to allow that to dry as it is now in this bag, out here in the shed over there, with the humidity in here as it is. And then once I know what's going on, I mean, if it cracks down the side, I can fill it. It's not a problem. There's things you can fill it with, but I need to know if it's how badly it's going to crack. If it cracks in about 5 different places and the side falls off, obviously it's not worth the effort. So from this point onwards, it's titivating it, it's making it nice and smooth on the outside. All I'm going to do now is just sandpaper it over, alright, so it gives it some kind of effect, and just sandpaper the inside a little bit. But I'm not going to put anything on it to protect it, because I need that moisture to evaporate away from the Kuksa. So this is it so far, and in future video I will actually show you what it's going to like, and I'll tell you if it's cracked. So you will get updates. So I'm just going to bring you close in on this now to show you how far we've got. Right, I hope you can see now there you go. That's what we've got so far. So we've gone from a lump of wood in the woods, which I was almost certain we're going to split. In fact, I thought it had split before now, to something that we've got there, which I can hold, which is sort of shaped to my hand. All right, we've got the wood out. All right, we've got all this sorted out. So what I'm going to do now is take some of this heavy grade sandpaper and just clear that off the edge on the inside. And I'm going down to some 180. I'm not going less than that. In fact, I might not even go to that. Just to take the top off, and then I'm going to put it into this bag, and then I'm going to hang it up on there and find out over the next couple of weeks if that's going to split. But to be honest, I'm pleased with how it's going already. And it's a bit of a funny shape, but so there you go. Very, very roughly just sandpapered over top, just to get the oils from the skin off the wood so it's got a chance to breathe. I've just done the classic one. I've just roughly sandpapered inside, and you can see that instead of going like that blue. It's in the eyes or anything. That's all I've done. Just take that off just to make sure that there's no oils off my skin up like that, and so it can dry evenly. And fingers crossed, and if it does split, you know, once or maybe twice, because it's my first Kuksa, I'll just bodge it and I'll use it. There's a lot of weight to come off on the inside of there. This all wants cleaning up and such like, and smoothing, and then it's all good to go. But I mean, if you were out in woods or whatever, or you're doing a survival thing, that would be well easy to use. You know, that's more than enough to use, isn't it? If you're out and about, I can use my other spoon, my quirky spoon would go lovely in there. So there's going to be a lot of all that weight taken out of the out of there, but I want to leave some weight on the bottom so that it's sort of bottom heavy. All right. So thank you very much for watching. I'll be getting this dried out for a couple of weeks and coming back for it. This is Ian Lawrence here in the Magic Shed, and yeah, in the Magic Shed this time because we haven't been out, have we? And I'll go get myself cleaned up now because I'm covered in dust. Thanks for watching. Don't forget, like, share, subscribe. See you in a bit. Bye.
Well, hello ladies and gentlemen, and a very warm welcome to Ian's YouTube channel. So what's it all about? What's Ian's YouTube channel all about? Well, mainly it's about me, Ian Lawrence. That's why it's called Ian's YouTube channel. And it's spelled I-A-I-N, YouTube channel. Alright, sorry about the wind, it's a little bit windy. It's going on a little bit now because I've been doing my bonkers stuff. Right, it's a big community. I want as many people as I can on board this year, so remember to subscribe. Remember to like and share the videos, that's if you've liked them. And if you did like them, it's worth sharing it. Or is it just me? So what do? We go out into the great outdoors and we do camps, we do bushcraft camps and we do tent-based camps. And the bushcraft stuff's great because we get to learn how to make shelters, how to make raised beds to sleep on, how to create a fireplace, how to create the fire, how to use bow drills, hopefully, and how to use ferro rods and, in order to be able to create the fire. Then to find the tinder in wet weather. Oh, isn't it confusing? It's all great fun. We have a good laugh about it. And if I get it wrong, and I show you that I got it wrong so you can learn by my mistakes. And it's all about fun and positivity and nice people. So please subscribe to start with so you get all the videos. Like me, that wind's getting up because it's never settled out here, is it? Subscribe to make sure you get all the videos coming up. Make sure you ring the little bell that's down there below so when I do upload something you can get that ding dong on your phone or wherever it is, or on your computer, so it lets you know that I've uploaded something. And remember to like, share and subscribe. Thank you very much. I'm rambling on again. Oh boy, am I going to ramble. Have a nice time. Let's go and have some adventures because that's what it's all about. See you now from me, Ian, at Ian's YouTube channel. Bye for now.